Episode 3, Numero 3.
Welcome to the Law-Abiding Biker Podcast, and it's the best podcast because it's my daddy's podcast.
Yep, that's right. You made the journey here. Welcome. I just want to thank you off the top for checking out the LAB podcast, the official Law-Abiding Biker podcast, where we really appreciate you, our listeners. If you haven't listened to the other podcast, I would urge you to do so. Get you up to speed as we move along with this thing. I want you to know this podcast is a very diverse podcast. It is for all law-abiding biker and motorcycle enthusiasts. We cover a very diverse range of topics. After all, we are the majority, the 99%ers. We are who the motorcycle industry looks to and relies upon for product development and sales, so let's be heard. We've got everything. Motorcycling, motorcycles, ride reviews, news, equipment, trends, television and media, anything that has to do with motorcycling, and the majority. All right, welcome to the podcast. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I will just tell you real quick, I wasn't extremely, the first podcast I did in my daughter's closet. And then I because I'm using this condenser mic, I don't have the best equipment. I'm trying to get up and running, folks. I'm trying to make a, good quality podcast with what I have. Equipment costs money. I know exactly what I need. So don't really need any help in that department. I've been around the tech world for quite a few years and built my first website like 10 years ago. And I've researched podcasting. I didn't have any help. I've started this thing from the ground up. I've self-educated myself on all the techie stuff. As the VP of my club calls me, the high-tech redneck. So, yeah. I know what I need. It's just a matter of money. I've got a whole package and set up and pieced out the way I want to do it. I have my unique way of doing things. So, anyway, what I did last time, real quick, I'm not going to keep beating on this stuff, but I moved into the office. I put a huge blanket over the computer and the armoire and me and tried to get some a little bit better quality sound with this condenser mic, but I listened to it and it had an echo that I wasn't very happy with. It's still better than a lot, but I wasn't happy with it, so I came out of the closet. That's right, I moved to the office, and I don't know how that works when you come out of the closet. Can you go back in the closet? Because I did. So here I am in my daughter's closet again. I think I'm going to do it here till I can afford the equipment that I need. The site's up, as you guys know from the last podcast, lawabidingbiker.com. I don't have my iMac in front of me, but I brought my iPhone in, so at least I have some access to my emails and internet and things, because I have some stuff I want to talk to you guys about. There is on that website, there's I'm a humble guy, and I'm not afraid to ask. It's a lot of expenses getting things up and running, but I want to pump this rich content. I hope it's rich content to you guys and stuff you're interested in, to all law-abiding bikers. I mean, the 99% of the majority. Podcast isn't geared towards law enforcement motorcycle clubs, even though you guys know, I'm involved with the swornfewmc.com, Sworn Few MC Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club. That's not what this podcast is about. Although it's going to be mentioned from time to time, this podcast is about you guys. I want to know about you. I want to know what you're doing, what your clubs are doing. I like the club I'm in, but by no means, do we claim to be the best or anything. We are out there. We want to be out there. We want to mingle. We are true bikers. That's what we do. That it will always be our main foundation, is riding bikes. So anyways, not to get, I wanted to say I'm not proud. I put on the law abiding biker page, I would like to get some better equipment. I'd like to pay some server fees and all this, the cost involved. And so I put a donate button, a very front page, upper right hand corner. And if you feel so inclined, you like this show, you want to support it, please feel free to do so. $1. I don't care. I'm not going to look at who's donating and say, oh, that guy only gave $1. I don't care. Anything helps. So if you're liking the show, you want it to continue, you think it's a great platform, you like the website, see what you can do to help. Consider it anyways, So I'm not going to be a beggar, but also I have affiliate ads on there if you want to host a website, or I've got audible.com. They have some great audio books. You can get anyways, any of those banners you click on, I have affiliated with them and can post their affiliate ads. And if you go to those ads, and you actually purchase something, then I get a small kickback, which, this is a hobby that I'm starting. There's a lot of motorcycle podcasts out there, like I say, and they're all different platforms. They're all unique. I respect them all, and I always will respect them all. That's what I'm about. That's what our club's about, is we respect everybody and we respect what they do. We do what we do. We have our unique way, and we respect other people's unique ways. So, listen around, see what you like. As far as motorcycle podcast goes, I hope you come back to this one. I think it's one of the most broadest platform motorcycle podcasts that there is out there. So anyways, if you feel like donating, go there. You can chat, leave me an email. There's a contact button on there. Both on the right hand side of your screen is a voicemail one you can leave. On the left hand side of the screen is a contact. There's a contact page. It all goes through to my email, ryan@lawabidingbiker.com. So if you feel so inclined, we'd love to get you involved. We are going to feature other motorcycle clubs on this, law-abiding motorcycle clubs. I'm going to get some phone interviews. We are interested in you. Okay? We're going to bring up our club from time to time. It's going to come. I'm going to get some other co-hosts in here, not just from our club, but from other clubs. So I think this thing's really going to progress, but I really want to know that we are there for you, and we want your involvement as law-abiding bikers, whether you're with a club, whether you're just with a riding group, whether you're just a solo rider, even if you don't have any club affiliation, if you're just out there and you have a crew of 4 people you like to, I don't care. We're all friends. We're all in this for the same reason. Getting out there, meeting people, having a good time, riding our bikes. And that's what, like I say, that's one thing I will say about our club is we ride bikes, and we ride hard. Every chance we get, we ride, and we put on the miles. We have a huge trip planned this year I'll talk about it more in another podcast because I want to get to the key of this podcast, but I just want you guys to know that our club, just a brief, swornfewmc.com. If you see us, we're we're going to grow. We're doing it at our pace. You grow too fast, and we've seen it. Things can go bad. So we want the best, highest quality law enforcement officers in our club. So, we have had, a lot of positive feedback. We've had a lot of people, very, very interested. We just have to do it at our pace. So if you're one of those people listening, I've communicated with you and that, or one of my other guys, the VP, secretary, or treasurer, has communicated with you and let you know it's not that we're not interested, and there's some good guys, and we just got to do it at our pace. We got to keep this thing real, and we really, really want to keep it quality. And, so we are working with some guys up north, and that's really exciting. So we'll see where it goes from there. But anyways, if you see us out there, if you see any of our guys, we are so approachable. And you guys already know that if you've met us. That's where we really, truly get to know us is, we have our website. I work super hard on that thing. That's how people find you. They see your cuts, your colors, and they're immediately going to look you up on the internet. And I want them to know who we are, what we're about, but that's not our main focus. I worked very hard on it. I think it's a very professional site. It's a good intro for people. That's how they're going to find out about us if they want to know who we're about. But the main thing to find out about us is just talk to us, email us, meet us, approach us. We are not in any way think we're better than anybody, that we're, above anybody. We are not. We are part of the law-abiding community. Law-abiding biker community. Apologize. We're you. Our club only is law enforcement officers, but there's reasons for that, and we can get into those later. But there's other civilian clubs that have some law enforcement and some not. So it doesn't matter to us. We support everybody law-abiding, and we want to meet you. I want to talk to you. And I wanted to see about your club. Every club is so unique and diverse, I'm finding out. I've been in this a long time. I'm not a new biker, so I have experience, and I have, I think, a lot of information, and the people that are going to help me co-host here eventually, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. This isn't a new game to us. Neither motorcycling is a new game to us. Clubbing is not a new game to us. To me, the high-tech redneck technology in any way is not new to me. I've been doing, YouTube videos, tutorial videos. I've been building websites. My first site was 10 years ago. Everything I've learned is on the internet and from my own hundreds and hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours over the last 10 years learning this stuff because I wanted to learn it. Now I don't have the money to go to school to do it, so I learned it on my own. But anyways, meet us. Check us out. We are friends with the clubs around here. That's a really unique thing about our area, and I don't know how every state is. We have very good, and I strive as a president of our club to maintain those very professional relationships, especially with other law enforcement clubs. We're out there for the same reason. We're risking our life every day at our job. We're out on motorcycles to have fun. Just because you're not in my club doesn't mean you can't be a brother of mine. It doesn't mean we can't ride together. We may ride in the back or the front, depending on whose ride it is. And everybody, if you've been in the motorcycle world, we can talk about that later. But, only because, me and my crew and anybody hereafter, we have very, very strict standards about riding and how you ride, and you have to train. And in fact, to get in, you have to meet a certain qualification course and riding abilities. So, be comfortable around the brothers you ride. It's dangerous enough, but you need to train together. And so that's the only reason we would ride in a group, either in front or behind, just because we have a very, very tight, very professional, very unique way to ride that unless you've ridden a lot together and practiced a lot together, you wouldn't want to be doing it. It's not dangerous at all. It's more the way, law enforcement motors units, the motorcycle police officers would ride when you see them out. So it's not dangerous at all, but you better practice together. Like I say, motorcycling is dangerous enough. If you don't know what you're doing and you don't know the rules and how tight group riding goes, then don't do it. Get out, and we can talk about some of that in a future podcast. But anyways, here's how it is. I was the president of, I don't mind naming clubs. If I'm going to, if there's a particular club that's not law abiding or anything, they're not going to get mentioned on this podcast. But if you're law abiding and supporting, and, I'm not going to hide names. I'm not going to, do anything like that. That I'm out in the open. Like I say, it's a hobby, and I'm doing this, and I don't want to be secretive about anything. I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to, anything like that. So, like I say, we have a very cool situation around here, and even I can say in Washington State, and I'm very excited to learn how things are working in your other states. I know, because I have information and I'm in this world, and I see it, that they're in other states, not Washington. I really don't see that problem here at all. But in other states, I see that there are law enforcement clubs and other civilian clubs that might hold some resentment towards each other or feel that one's better than the other. I'm so glad we don't have that problem up here, and I want to, hopefully this forum is for, obviously for the whole United States, the whole world can get this podcast. Anybody in the world that's a motorcycle, law-abiding motorcyclist. So, try to work that out in your areas. That's all I can tell you. And there's ways to do that. And that's why you got to have a real strong executive board within your club and structure. Whether you're just a civilian club or whatever, you've got to have people that are very good at communication, and you're not going to get a guy that's going to talk bad about anybody, or, it only takes one guy to talk bad about people, and, that can cause a riff. When people do that, I'll just tell you right away, do what you know is what is right. Do what's in your heart. If somebody doesn't like what you're doing, as long as it's legal and you're doing what you have a passion for, no matter what that is, your best tool is just, don't go back and forth on emails or things like that. That's not, number one, emails are, they're good and they have their purpose for inter-club, or not inter-club, but cross-club communication. And we do a lot of that. In the sworn few, there's a lot of cross-club communications. We stay in touch with the clubs in Washington, and we're friends. We're brothers. It's okay that we wear different patches. It's not a big deal. That kind of stuff happens in the OMG world, the outlaw motorcycle gang world. That's not us. For the most part, every law enforcement club and member, or clubs that have civilians and law enforcement, or just civilian clubs, just great people, bikers, were, out doing the same thing. And that's one thing that this podcast is going to continue to be about, is supporting everybody. Okay. And like I said, it's not just about our club. This is a separate podcast from the Sworn Few MC. This is something that I do on the side. I do want to get some of my brothers involved from my club and other clubs. Okay. I want this out there. I want to know about everybody. I want everybody to have a say, and I'm just creating the forum. I'm creating the platform for, you may not have the technical ability to do podcasts, or have the time to involve hundreds and hundreds of hours in websites and podcasts and the money, and, and I understand that. I have it for you. So don't hesitate to call. Don't hesitate to email. We can meet. I've got the equipment I'm going to get is, I'm going to have some where I can have it in my office, where I can do them there, but I can also travel. my equipment will be portable enough to where I can get up and come to your garage and have a few, beverages and have a good time and roll a podcast. So I want to give you the platform and know that we are available and we are about riding. So if I have to get on my bike and ride, I have a tea bag to put on the back. I'll put all my podcasting gear in it. I'll ride across the state. If we're on a ride and I have to bring my equipment along, and there's some field equipment that I can bring too, to just get audio clips and stuff. So this is a platform for you folks. I want you to know that. It is a platform for you. It's not about me. It's not about our club. This is a platform for everybody. So with that said, like I say, don't go back and forth with emails. Don't get in any games. There's just some, the best thing to do, is just ignore it. As long as you know what you're doing is right, nobody's ever going to approve of everything you're doing. Nobody's ever going to approve of the way you do things, your style. But the best thing about, a motorcycle club is being an individual. Yeah, you're with a group and you're with a club and you have certain standards and bylaws and, we want obviously follow those, and that's, within your club structure and how you set up your club. But the main thing is don't lose your individuality. Do what you want to do, how you want to do it. And the best thing is just ignore people that don't agree with what you're doing, or put downs, or maybe they think they're better than you or whatever. That's not just a motorcycle club, that's in life in general. Don't let it get you down. Ignore it, because that causes, it can cause other, cross club or cross rider group, or it just creates, it separates things, and that's not how it's supposed to be. That is never what our club will be about. That's never what this podcast will be about, is any type of separation whatsoever. Okay? We want everybody to be involved. Okay? So I want to start with, main topic and basically what we're going to talk about today. And that is Cross Club Brotherhood. And I'll talk a little bit about how we do it around here. In no way do I think that I know how other states do it. I want to learn that. And as I ride around to different states, I'm going to learn that. I want to know what clubs are in the area before I ride. And if I can hook up for a quick field interview, I'm going to do that. So I'll let you know. I'll look some clubs up and things and maybe meet up with you. So, Cross Club Brotherhood. All right. I was the president. I've been motorcycling longer than I've been in a club. But anyways, I had to look at the time. I do have to go pick up my daughter from school. So I'll probably at some point pause this and come back to it. But anyways, Cross Club Brotherhood. I've been motorcycling for a long time. I'm not new to this game. Okay. I want to tell you that here in Eastern Washington, specifically Yakima, take a sip of water there. I was the president. There was no, in Eastern Washington, which, is funny, in probably the let's say five surrounding counties 4 years ago, and in the history of the Yakima County area in Eastern Washington State, there were zero, never had been in the history, any law enforcement motorcycle club, LEMC. So I was very interested in starting a club and started the Blue Knights. We piggybacked off them, I have nothing but good things to say about that club. You're going to see them out there. They're great guys. Still have a lot of friends that are Blue Knights, and I hold those friendships tight. Okay? So I basically was new to clubbing at that time and wasn't exactly sure what to do, but I'm a very, very motivated person. People that know me, I get stuff done. I don't talk about it. I do it. And, whether people like exactly or, you're always going to have your critics. But I said I am going to start a motorcycle club here in Yakima. Before that, we were with another, it was the Tri-Cities chapter of the Blue Knights. And then we got big enough up here. I worked super hard, got a recruiting award, which is a totally separate thing. And that's okay. Every club is unique, and I respect every club and the way they do things. Us, the Sworn Few MC, we don't recruit. The people that are looking to get with us, they've come to us, and we highly respect that, because if you're willing to come to us, that tells us that you've got heart, and we shouldn't have to recruit. If you see something that you like, come on over, talk to us, and we'll tell you the procedures and, if you're a candidate and all that. But anyways, at that time, got a recruiting award, and we, I started, basically got some guys together. I became the P president. Like I said, I'm going to explain terminology to you guys as we go along in these podcasts, because we have a lot of people listening that are not in clubs or don't know about them. I was the P, and my good friend, Matt, was the VP, and eventually our treasurer, now with the Sworn Few, was he was a director, and Rob, another guy with our club, was in there, and he was a member. And so anyways, we started that club from the ground up. We started a new chapter of the Blue Knights, and we ran it hard, and I think we ran it good. I'm extremely proud of what I did. I'm extremely proud of the brothers in there and the hard work they put in and the hard work they continue to do over there. And we ran that for 4 years, and we grew it. Again, I have different ideologies now, and there is nothing wrong with the way they do things, okay? You make your own identity for your club. Write your own bylaws. Do things the way you want. If you get with a club that already has bylaws, then go with those. But they're heavy into recruiting, heavy into numbers. And so we grew that club from starting out with like 8 guys in 4 years and grew it to over 40 members. And so it came time. There was and we did a lot of, we raised so much money. And for special causes, and, we were the first law enforcement motorcycle club in, like I say, in the 5 counties in history. So I'm very proud that I and my other brothers were able to start a motorcycle club and make history in this area, literally make history. And we had a very good relationship with the citizens of these communities, and still do. And everybody knows that I, still knows me because I was a president there, and now I'm the president of the Sworn Few MC. And I haven't changed, just my ideologies about clubs and the way it should be run, and things I wanted to do. Very hard to get bylaws changed when you're with a huge club like the Blue Knights. It's hard because, there's a whole governing body, and we won't get into that, but it's different, and that's okay. That's the way they do it. There's nothing wrong with that. But anyways, here's where Club Brotherhood comes in. I'm not going to get into any more details about that. So after 4 years, I thought it was time. I had been thinking for years about starting a club from the ground up. I had learned a ton as a president. I wanted to start a new club from the ground up, and so we did. So some brothers peeled off, and we didn't want to peel off too many. When you start a club, like I said, we can go on with podcasts, but you got to start with small numbers. There's a lot of decisions to be made, but I want to stay on my talk up across club. So after 4 years, decided it was time to step down from our positions. Elections were up. Nobody wanted me to, step down. There was one individual that was going to run for election, and he's an awesome guy. Blaine is his name, and he's going to do good things for that club. And I am still good friends with him. And at the same time, my VP stepped down, Matt, to come over with me. Ed, the director, stepped down to come over with me, and some others came over. So with that said, when we stepped down, they had a huge, we had a meeting, and they gave us these awesome trophies or awards for all we had done for the club. And it was awesome. It was sad leaving, but it was exciting too, because we were going to start a new journey and, put our own spin on things and just start it from the ground up with all we had learned and all that we wanted to change in the way we run a club, and that we couldn't do over there just because the bylaws have been in place for so many years and it's super hard to get them changed. That's okay. We did our thing, but we left on extremely good terms, absolutely good terms. And I can talk later about how we actually separated and the way we did it, in case you're thinking about doing it and starting a new club. There's very political ways to do that, and I think we did it a very, very respectable way and continue to be respectful. So, all right. So what happened is we've been up and running. All of a sudden, I get a call, and from one of the members over there at the Blue Knights, the local chapter here. Okay, so now we've started I and my brothers. I don't want to leave anybody out. It's not about me. We started the first law enforcement club here in this area, and now we've started the second. Some of the same guys. So very proud of that. Very, very proud about getting the second one going, and plan on being in this one forever, not going anywhere. This is a solid club, solid foundation, and we're just going to continue to move forward. But one of the guys, his name is Paul, and out of respect, I won't use his last name because some people don't like their last names used. He's a retired sheriff's deputy, and I've known him even before the Blue Knights when I was with them. But he called me out of the blue, and I have to say I blogged about it on swornfumc.com/blog. If you go there, I blogged about this what he did. This is true cross club brothership and how things should happen. He called me and left me a voicemail and said he had a gift for our club, and I'm like, whoa, you gotta be kidding. That's awesome. I mean, so I, hit him up right away, and this guy, Paul, he's retired, and he has a hobby, and he makes these clocks, these just awesome clocks. And you can see a picture of it on swornfumc.com/blog. It's a granite clock he makes. I don't know exactly what he does, but he somehow engraves it, and then it gets painted, and he makes it into a big old square granite clock, and it comes with a stand. And he did this when we're over at the Blue Knights. And he made a really, really cool Blue Knights with the Blue Knights logo on it, made this clock for free, raffled it off, and made money for the club. Okay, he called me and told me he had made one of these clocks for our club with our logo, our brand on it. And I was, that hit me. And that's what the name of this podcast is going to be, Cross Club Brothership, or Brotherhood. Cross Club Brotherhood. It's so important to me and the ideologies of our club. It's Cross Club Brotherhood, and keeping that, that we are all out here for the same thing, and regardless if we're different clubs, we can still do things together and still have fun together, and let's no separation. That is not what this is. What we're about. So he he called me, said, I got this clock for you. I'm like, holy cow, man, that's awesome. So, the next day he was willing to meet me. We met halfway, and he presents me with this clock, and I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. I'm just very humbled and like, wow, that's really cool. So thank you, Paul. If you're listening, man, that was a stand-up thing to do, man. And that just goes a long ways towards, the cross-club relationships and keeping those cross-club relationships, because we're going to see, a lot of law enforcement clubs, no matter what state you go to, we ride all over. You're going to see them at different events. So, he gave me that clock. And so we got the clock, and I gave it to my VP. Here's the deal. The thing's super heavy because it's granite, and I got a pretty young little girl and a little bit older girl. And I if I set that on the stand and one of them knocks it over, it's literally going to impale their head or kill them. So it's not kid proof, and that's okay. I want it in our club. So I called VP Matt, who doesn't have any kids right now, and he was more than proud to house that thing at his house right now. Now, if it falls on his head, he's got a hard enough head. He'll probably be okay. But he has it at his house, and we're going to keep it in our club. That is so cool. That is never going anywhere. And Paul was real, like, if you guys want it, cool. He wasn't sure. He was like, if you want it, cool. If you don't, you can smash it. You know how people are about their colors, their emblems. I'm like, no, brother. That is not how this club rolls. Absolutely not. And I can truly tell you, Paul, and anybody listening from the local chapter of the Blue Knights here, absolutely not. We are so honored that Paul made that clock for us, and we are going to hold that near and dear to our heart, and it's not going anywhere. Someday, if we get our clubhouse up and running, it's going to be there. So we're going to protect it and take care of it. So with that said, we on our turn started talking, and we're like, at one time Paul made that Blue Knights clock, and it's super awesome. Anyway, if I didn't tell you, this clock, he did our emblem, our brand. I mean, it looks so awesome. He did it to a T. So he did one for the local Blue Knights too, like I said. And at that time, when he did it years ago, Ed, our treasurer, won it, and he still possesses that clock. But here's what we're going to do in return. And we've already talked to him about it at the last local event we were at. We got a hold of, Blaine, the president, and Rod, their secretary-treasurer, and their sergeant-at-arms and stuff. And I said, listen, here's the deal. That clock is awesome, and we would like to return the Blue Knights clock because that needs to be in your guys' club. That is, something that needs to be in one of your members' homes. So that is how we're, going to return that favor is we're going to return that clock that he won, since we're no longer with that club and we're with the Sworn Few. We got our own clock now. We want to give that back to them so they can raffle it off within their membership, and one of their members can have that club. That's the kind of stuff that needs to be going on with law-abiding motorcycle clubs, not just law enforcement clubs, any civilian club, any riders group. We need to be helping each other out and scratching each other's backs and getting rid of any separations that there are, because there just shouldn't be. That just shouldn't happen. So, keep those great communications. Keep those. Keep doing nice things for each other. Do events together. Communicate via email. Get on your Facebook pages. We have very open lines of communication here in Washington. I'm going to tell you about. Next up is I'm going to tell you about. This is part of Club Brotherhood, so it goes right in line with it. And I'm going to talk about an event coming up. So stand by. I want to talk to you about another club that we're here in Washington, another law enforcement motorcycle club, Iggy, their president. I'm going to email him and try to get an actual interview with him, an actual phone interview with him. So, and find out more about their club. I know a little bit about it. We've dealt with them. The Road Dogs. Basically what I know about them is they have chapters throughout the United States. They're a law enforcement only motorcycle club. They have a Tacoma chapter, which is the chapter we deal with. We dealt with them when I was over at the Blue Knights, and obviously we deal with them now that I'm with the Sworn Few MC. But they have a yearly event that they do, and I've blogged about it on our club website. I'll probably blog about it on lawabidingbiker.com too. And I'm going to talk about it on this podcast because we are about the law-abiding biker community in general. And I want to get every club's information out there. So their website is waroaddogs.com. And the way they spell dogs is DAWGS. So waroaddogs.com, DAWGS. They've got an event coming up, and we fully support it. We supported it last year. Anytime we hear of an event coming to our town, this event's coming to our town, even though they're from Tacoma, we get a hold of that club and let them know whatever they need. We welcome them to our area. We let them know if there's anything we can do for them, if they need to know about hotels, if they need to know, lodging, if they need us to help set up, whatever. We are here because they're brothers too. We're out here for the same reason, like I say. So we want to promote their event. It's a super cool event. Let me go to the link here on my iPhone, but go to their website and you can go to their events. But this is the Washington Road Dogs, and like I say, I'm going to get hopefully a phone interview if he's willing to, Iggy, their president, to get more about their club and more about this event. But it is coming, and let me see if I can find it here. Let's go to, I got to hit the events here. All right. And they've got the 2013 Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Ride. Okay. It's going to a new venue, like I say, and it's going to be in Yakima this year, Yakima, Washington. The dates for the ride are July 13th and 14th, 2013. Okay. It's a scenic ride across the Cayuse and Chinook Pass to Yakima. They'll host a banquet and a memorial ceremony at the Howard Johnson Motel located at North 9th Street here in Yakima, Washington. The way they have tons of raffle prizes and stuff, this is their one big, the way I understand it, is this is their one big fundraising event of the year. And it's an awesome event. They do an awesome job at it. Because they do one big event, they have time. They're not a huge group, huge chapter. I don't know what their numbers are, but with the small amount of guys that they may have, they work hard. So props to them for doing this event. And I'm going to try to get some more details here. Oh yeah, I click here for more information to register. They are it's the 10th annual Law Enforcement Memorial Ride. And they're obviously going to Yakima. Please take the time. Here's what they support, it looks like. The way I understand it, like I say, I want to get with Iggy, their president, but the Officer Down Memorial page, okay, ODMP. It's the Officer Down Memorial page. And let me get you the link to that. It's www.odmp, officerdownmemorialpage.org. So odmp.org. Okay, that is what they're supporting, and it's a page dedicated to all fallen officers. And on this podcast, I do an end of watch one for Washington officers. So super good cause. It's the Officer Down Memorial page is a nonprofit organization dedicated to honoring America's fallen law enforcement heroes. More than 19,000 officers have made the ultimate sacrifice in the U.S., and it is with great honor that the ODMP pays a lasting tribute to each of these officers by preserving their memories with its pages. All who visit the ODMP will be deeply moved by the countless stories of selfless courage and heroism exhibited by officers who lost their lives while serving and protecting the citizens of this nation. their day ride is, day riders are welcome. It looks like everyone's going to have a great time. It's not just, it's open to any law-abiding biker. It's not a law enforcement club event. They're the ones that are sponsoring it, but it's for any law-abiding biker. And, the more people they can get, you can pre-register, get tickets. You don't have to stay the night at the hotel if you don't want. You can make it a day ride. Anyways, that's coming up, and we fully support them. I've been in touch with Iggy. I've been in touch with their president, and I have made them hopefully feel very welcome, and I feel that by the responses I've got and the emails I've got back from him. So, look them up if you're interested in their club, or look them up if you're interested in that particular event. So we support them, and like I say, as that gets closer, I'll talk to you guys about it again on a podcast and let you guys know, keep you informed and let you know that it's coming up. If you have events, I'm very serious about this. I don't care what state you're from. Okay. I have to do this podcast from, my home where I live in Washington State. But if you have a podcast, if you have an event that you want to get out there, hit me up on our website and I'll put it out. This podcast goes worldwide. So, and I'll get it out there for you. It's free. I'm not going to charge you a thing to promote your event if it's a law-abiding biker event at all. That's what this forum is for. Obviously, if you felt, if you considered a donation, that would be awesome, but that is not required. Please understand that. It's not required. I will promote your event for you, because if it's for a good cause and a good foundation, then I'd be a fool not to promote something like that for you. We're all on the same page. We should be. We should all be doing, the same things and have the same interests. So I'll promo your event for you. So hit me up with those. Just make sure you give me the details or write something down about what it's about and what you want people to know. And that way I can read it or leave a voicemail. And I'll actually play the voicemail on the podcast of your promo. Right now with what I have on there, you can only leave a 2-minute message. It's just the plan I got. I don't really want to get a bigger plan right now for that voicemail service, but if you have to, you can always do a 2-minute one. It tells you the timer when you're doing it, so you know when it's about to end, and then you could leave another one. So anyways, we'll promo your event for you. All right, guys. I'm not going to make this too much longer. We're at about 47 minutes, and I got to get out of here to go pick up my little girl from the bus. But I do have one more thing to talk about here. And like I say, we're a very broad podcast about everything motorcycling. That includes, the reviews you've heard already, news, just everything. So with that said, I want to bring you some news, and we're going to talk about safety and things like that. All right, this is like I say, we cover all states. This isn't just news from where I am, but this is a motorcycle fatality hit and run collision. Looks like near Orlando, Florida. And let me tell you a little bit about it. Standing by. All right. Here we go. A 42-year-old Virginia man was killed early Sunday in a 3-vehicle crash on Interstate 4. And I hope I pronounce this right for you bikers out there in Florida, but Seminole, Seminole County. Keenan Huff was ejected from his 2012 Harley-Davidson motorcycle and struck by a Toyota van. He was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver of the vehicle that struck Huff's bike and triggered the crash failed to stop. The incident occurred just after 1 a.m. and shut down the westbound lanes of the roadway quite a few hours. A 1988 four-door sedan was found on the side of an interstate, and about a half mile away. The driver was gone. Of course, he ran on foot. According to the Florida Highway Patrol, the Saturn is registered to a guy, a 23-year-old guy, a resident And later, I guess that Sunday afternoon, it was learned that that particular individual had already hired an attorney and does not wish to speak with the investigators. Imagine that. Run from the scene of an accident and then go get an attorney. Yeah, good job, guy. Real good job. Killed a motorcyclist. The driver, of course, he's innocent unless proven guilty, so we will obviously respect that. I don't even think I said his name, but it's in the article. So the driver of the van that was also involved, he pulled over immediately, realizing what was happening. One of the LEOs, law enforcement officers, that Lake Mary police officer escaped injury when another driver struck his cruiser on the side of the road while he was investigating the accident. Jeez. Tracy Flood, 41, was ticketed for careless driving for running into the vehicle, which was running into the police vehicle. They don't put that there, but running into the police vehicle, which was blocking the left traffic lane with its emergency lights activated and with his emergency lights activated. Okay, so a couple things real quick on that. We all know it's dangerous out there as bikers. It's no secret. People don't see us. I don't know any more details on that. If you do have any information, if you're from that area, I'm pumping this out there because, they could use the help. If you have any information or you were a witness to that, get a hold of the Florida Highway Patrol. They would love to have your information so they could wrap that case up and whoever's responsible can be held accountable for their actions. But, so be careful. We already talked about that a little bit about the way you ride. And, we'll talk about a lot more safety stuff. Our club is really into riding abilities and the way that's done and the way you need to practice and things like that. But be careful out there on your bike. Practice when you can. And, just like that right there, that happens all the time. Here's a law enforcement officer, emergency lights on, blocking a lane, and some guy comes flying in, not slowing down, hits a patrol car. I mean, seriously. When you see the emergency lights, especially, it doesn't matter if you're in your car or on a bike, you especially want to be extra cautious on a bike. Red lights mean slow down, and respect that a lot of officers are killed by cars that hit them while they're investigating accidents out on the freeway. So, just use that due caution and respect those red and blue lights. They may hopefully never be for you someday, if you're involved in an accident, but, you don't need to make things worse by hauling into a scene and tagging a patrol car. Thank God the officer's okay. Thank God that he was with them on that day. And so, and I know, fatality motorcycle accidents they're gruesome. And car ones can be gruesome, but motorcycle ones are really gruesome. I've investigated a lot of fatality, I guess a lot of fatality accidents, but a handful of motorcycle ones. And, they're gruesome. I have very permanent pictures in my head of the ones I investigated. And most of the ones I investigated, actually all of them, the fatality ones were on, interstates and state routes. I can truly say, and I'll talk about it in some other podcasts when we talk about safety and riding abilities and stuff, is that, the ones, actually I have even on a city street investigated was involved with an investigation of a fatality motorcycle collision. But I will tell you, I've been to a lot of motorcycle collisions, but all the fatality ones that I can tell you have, for me, have been rider error. And that's either speed or passing or cornering, which we really need to talk about. There's just a lot of people, and don't take it as a put down. I am no expert, but I definitely have some riding abilities. I have trained with the department I work for. I'm not a motors officer, but I have trained with them. Something I would like to do in the future. But I've been out and trained with them and really ridden. So I do have some experience and just my years of motorcycle riding, cornering can catch a lot of people. And there's some very cool things that you can do if you've never been told. If you know how to, then don't worry about it. You can tune that part out. But I know there's a lot of motorcyclists out there that maybe are brand new, haven't really taken a safety course or anything like that, or don't know some of the tricks and techniques and things like that. But I'd like to get to those when I get a chance. So anyways, be safe out there, folks. I really hope you enjoyed the podcast. I'm really going to try to save up and get some better equipment. I want to get some other guys in here, and I could do that already, but it's hard. I don't know. We could do an interview in the office, but it would kind of have an echo sound, and I don't know how good it would turn out. What I got to try to do, and Rob, the old Rob told me that he goes, "I'm not getting in a closet with you, bro. There's no way I'm getting in a closet with you, bro." So I don't know if he'll change his mind. Maybe I'll give him a peace offering or a 6-pack of beer or something. But that would be the only way we could do it with this one mic, is to come in this closet and get any good audio quality. So we'll see if that happens. If not, I'll have to wait to get co-hosts and stuff until I get the equipment that I have all picked out, and a couple mics, a couple dynamic mics and stuff. But anyways, thank you so much, and thank you for all the support. If you go to iTunes, please give it the podcast a review if you can. You can rate it. I'm getting tons of downloads. I'm very, it's a very humbling experience. I had no idea. I thought I'd get like 2 people listening. Really, I'm starting out as an amateur, but man, when I look at the downloads that I'm getting, it's unbelievable. I was like, this has got to be wrong, but it's not. And I hope that keeps going. I guess that tells me that people are liking the platform. They're liking it, and we'll keep listening to it. So support it if you can. Keep listening if you can. Spread it around on your social media pages. Give links to the podcasts, and they're on all platforms. They're on the website. You can listen to it. iTunes, BlackBerry, Android, Zune, Microsoft phones, you name it. You can get this podcast, and you can get it anywhere in the world. So, for the most part. All right, I'm wrapping it up. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed it. I thank you as the listeners. I respect all you as the listeners. I want to know about you, get involved with you. I hope to meet you out there. Please approach. Please talk to us. And, ride safe. Ride safe. Keep the rubber side down.
Thank you for listening to the Law Abiding Biker Podcast. Please listen to our next episode.